The Pfaff Quilt Ambition 630 sewing machine has a feature called sequencing that allows you to combine decorative stitches together so you can make your own stitch combinations. So you can actually do this with decorative stitches and you can do it with the alphabets that are built into this machine. But on this one, we're going to focus on decorative stitches, and then we'll do a separate video on the alphabets and putting letters and different punctuation and numbers all together. So first off, you do want to open the sequencing area of the machine. That's the little A with the kind of dotted stitches beside it. So once you do that, you notice all your areas kind of go blank, and it is waiting for you to select a stitch. So touch the zigzag stitch in the middle, and now you have access to all your stitches. So we're going to go ahead and pick stitch number 157, and you can just touch them to appear. It's pretty easy. So when you touch them, they show in your row. Now, if I wanted to put another one next to it, just note that the last stitch it's going to take is going to be right at the tip of the star. So sometimes I like to pick stitches that also start in the center needle position. So for example, when I go back into our decorative stitches, and maybe I want to add a little circle, you can see that's going to start and stop in that general area. What if I was to put another one of those stitches in, and then we want to see how it's going to look when it stitches out. So just so you know, it's going to go star, circle, circle, and then it will repeat star, circle, circle. So if you touch the presser foot, you'll see what it's going to look like stitched out. So what if you find just this fabulous combination and you're like, I want to save it? This machine has one memory. So when you see the little picture of the heart with the arrow pointing into it and you touch it, it saves over the last item that was in memory. So just one memory, so pretty easy, like, okay, now it's saved. So that would be something. Now you do see how quick and easy it is to put something into memory. So a lot of times, even if you only feel like, oh my gosh, I only have one memory, no problem. Just go ahead and write down the sequences. Maybe you add some of these stitch outs to your stitch book, and now you have this little kind of ongoing list of fun things that you've created with this machine as a nice little reminder when you're flipping through which stitches you might like. And this is a great time to look in that stitch book that you've created and know how the stitches are going to look when they're stitched out. So let's say we want to put another combination in. So there's a couple ways to get in and delete this out. So go back to sequencing, touch the A, and you'll notice everything kind of turns into a green area when you're in that sequencing, just so you know. We do have the option to even arrow back, and that there's like a little cursor. So if I wanted to come back in and add a different stitch in between there, so let's say I wanted to add a heart. So how about stitch number 178? And 178 has a little heart that's open. So you can see how you can go back in and add something to the middle or beginning, just wherever that cursor is. So I don't really like that because you can see it pops off where the top of the heart is, not really connecting well with that circle. So let's say I just want to delete it. You can touch the trash can one time and it deletes whatever that green cursor is underneath. Now notice the trash can has this little corner, this little arrow in the bottom right corner. That means that if I touch and hold the trash can, it will come up with a delete all. Now it didn't mean much. I could have just touched that trash can 3 more times and everything would have been gone. But if you touch and hold it, it takes everything out. That'll be helpful when you might be getting lots of letters together in the, like for making a quilt label or putting something personalized on there. You might have 30 different letters. It's a touch and hold and it deletes all of them at once. So nice little quick one. So what if we wanted to come back out here? We're back to straight stitching and oh, now we want to retrieve the memory or item that we had saved. So remember the 2 hearts? This is the one we put into or used it for saving. If you touch the heart, that's the one for retrieving. So just like that, I touched the heart one time and it had what I had saved in there ready to stitch. So check out the links below this YouTube video where you can learn about making your stitch book, checking out all the fun things we do with our Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course where we take all these stitch combinations and create all new categories of creativity. Oh my gosh. So definitely take a look at the 10 videos we have for free and try out and play around with the combinations of these stitches. You might be surprised what you find when you start to play.